Ok, ciao a tutti, io sono Antonio Vanni and it's my pleasure to be with you and to speak about something I really love, which is actually the connection between event management and the promotion of cultural heritage. What I mean by that, I mean that in the past I had many opportunities as producer of events to organize concerts in really special places. And event after event, performance and concert after concert, I realized that you need to have a special, pay special attention to the place and to the venue in which you operate, in order to get the best result. But anyway, I'll share my experiences with you, and I invite you to ask me any question you may have. Quickly, let me introduce myself. My position is currently academic director of Accademia Europea di Firenze, which is a school of liberal and performing arts, international school based in Firenze. Before I was director of performing arts at the school. Before I was in New York City for 2 years teaching and being the assistant of the director of jazz studies. And I produced also a festival at the Greenwich Village, including concerts on Washington Square and Blue Note, Jazz Club, and other concert halls in Greenwich Village. Before then, from 2007 to 2011, I've been the coordinator and director of the music program of New York University in Firenze. These are some pictures of events I organized. Okay. Then, you know my brother, so you met my brother before. So it's thanks to him, actually, that since I was 16, 17, I had the chance to really organize concerts. And with him, together with him, I developed my experience as a promoter of and producer of events. So these are all the festivals, the jazz festivals, and Luciano and I did together. In the meantime, I took myself busy for a while being an art exhibition, contemporary art exhibition curator, since my first education, academic training is in contemporary art. So, and then I worked at the Uffizi Gallery for 12 years, part-time. It was a beautiful experience. And together with Luciano, I founded the jazz magazine that he now directs and publishes. This is one exhibition of Mattia Remi, a really interesting artist, Italian artist of the second half of the 20th century. Of course, every exhibition that I organized had space for a stage and for interaction with musicians. Here was a part of an exhibition that was basically taking place in the auditorium, small auditorium. So my point of view that I'll share with you is, first of all, I started with Luciano being a musician. And so everything started from my love for music and the need to be as close as possible with musicians, just to steal their ideas, to imitate them, and to learn more about the process. But after a while, I realized that to be a performer was not my call. While I realized that what makes really a difference in the performance, in the event, in a concert, is not just the concert itself, but is the interplay. This is a beautiful word that I take from jazz. Interplay between the artist, the public, and the environment in which the performance the concert takes place. So in math, I would say 1 plus 1 plus 1 equal 100. It's not 1 plus 1 plus 1 equal 3 at all. And so I realized that an appropriate setup, which is hardware, room, light, sound, backline, and event preparation makes really the difference. And let the magic of the event happen. What is the magic? The magic is that feeling you have when after the event you go back home and you have the feeling that you experienced something special. So I think as producer, as organizers of concerts and events, it's our call, it's our duty to do everything possible to make this magic happen. Okay, let me see. Okay, so this is, let me share with you my goals and objectives. It's hard in 1 hour and 20 minutes with many of you to be able to go through all the materials that I have prepared while keeping in touch with you and not doing a monologue. So first of all, I don't care if I will cover all the material that is on the slide. I encourage you to say, stop, Antonio, this is my question, okay? But these are my objectives and goals. I want to share my experience. I want to promote the awareness of what it means and implies to be an event producer. Big responsibilities you have, and a lot of options and choices possible. And I'll share some experience and some examples. I invite you to write notes. So after the class, whenever you want, you can shoot me email. You can ask me any detail, because in this lecture, there's no possibility for me to go to details. So since this is a very practical and concrete course, I imagine that the follow-up of this lecture will be as more concrete and pragmatic, with more questions from you. This is just a presentation. It's a beginning, okay? So for the same reasons, since this is a master's level class, I'm expecting you to share with me and all the class your suggestions and your ideas. This is what I expect. For you to consolidate an appropriate vocabulary regarding event organization, being able to approach and read a production, learn to see more perspective, and be mindful in approaching every production, aware of the genius loci. We will talk about this. The specific character of a place, as well as the needs of the artist and public. This is another event. Okay, so this is the first section is vocabulary. If this class is about sharing concrete instruments and tools, I do believe that words and concepts are the most powerful. Paraphrasing Plato, we are made of words. The quality of our thoughts is determined by the exactness of the words we use. In other words, if we are not clear about the words and the concept around our job and our profession and our actions are pointless or vague, with not really strong. So let's do some brainstorming. Claudia, if I have to I mean, this is very simple, so don't expect you have to come up with some crazy definition. So please share with us the first images you have in your mind when it comes to the word concert?
The first image I can see is a very big stage with musicians, classical musician, and an audience very, very smart and elegant. I don't know the
That's
second
perfect.
one. Huh?
That's perfect.
Okay.
Why it's so perfect? Because a concert is, I imagine too, a stage with a classical concert. Concert is an event, a music event that happens in which the focus is definitely the music. So you hear a concert. You go and listen to a concert. Thank you, Claudia. Fabio, what is just the image that you have in your mind when you hear the word show?
You can repeat, please. I don't know.
Yes. If I say show, show, what do you see in front of you? Just a few words.
Yes, I want image the very cultural and artistic show that it can change the mentality. You understand?
Yes.
Maybe for Italian, I wanted I can.
It's okay. I think this is a good point, Fabio. Let me ask. Grazie, Fabio. Ksenia, do you have anything else to say about show?
Hello. Show. I have an image of bright performance, outstanding concert, context, very well organized, and so my image is bright, very well organized, outstanding, something like that.
Fantastic. Nancy, do you have something? Grazie, Ksenia. Nancy, what do you see? What do you envision when you have when you hear the word show?
Personally, I think when I go back to concert and a show is much smaller compared to the concert, and a show can involve different artists, and also if you compare it with a concert, a show can have an artist, for instance, a musician can do maybe 2, 3, or 4, 5, 6 songs, but a concert can be only one artist doing it's a concert for only one artist or just few big artists.
Okay, thank you, Nancy. Let me tell you, I believe that the biggest difference between concert and show is that concert is something in which you go to listen to music. A show, when I hear the word show, I think about something more spectacular. Show is something you not only hear, show is something you see. So let me make you an example. For me, a concert is the Berliner that plays Bach. A show is Roger Waters that does The Wall, or a Peter Gabriel concert, or Madonna's concert. You too, or name who you want. So a show is a more complex production in which that addresses not just the sheer audio, but is just a more greater environment and greater production. An event, Noor, if I say event, what do you think?
For event, I think it's a bigger thing to organize. It can be anything in performing art or in a gallery. It can be an auction. So I see a lot of organizers, security. It can combine both. Like it can be in a gallery and it can be a music show. Also, we can organize it as an event. Yeah, we can. I think we can combine more than one thing in that event.
Great. Yeah, you're right. Event is a more vague word. I'm thinking now in this context, close to these words, maybe what event can mean many things. It can be just like a cooking show can be an event. It's not just music and performing arts, but within the realm of performing arts, event is something that is more related to the rhetoric of a newspaper and publicists and social media. Event implies something that is very extraordinary. So no matter if it's a concert of the Berliner playing Bach on the roof of a building, that is an event, instead of having the Berliner playing the same music in their auditorium or in a theater, you know. So event in itself has implies also this speciality, the extraordinarity, the ticket now. Go to see the event, because something like that will never present again in the future. Okay, production and organization. Let me speed up a little bit. So, who's the producer? So, from Latin, produco, which means I move forward. So the producer is somebody that, starting from the budgeting, from prepares, takes care, paves the way for an event, from its beginning to its finalization. Producer is somebody that makes an event happen. Producer is somebody that takes care of all and overviews and coordinates all the different aspects, from the finance to the budgeting to the organization on the ground and to the management. You know, producer may have staff below them for specific tasks, but basically the producer is the one who moves things forward and make them happen. Organizer, instead, is a different way to look at it. A producer can be an organizer, but may not. What I love of the meaning of the word organization and organizer is that there is an implication, is a reference to the concept and to the word of organism, in which basically the organism is like a human body. You have the lungs, you have the heart, you have a liver, you have the brain, you have all different organs that work together and make a human being live well and enjoy life. And how can a human being enjoy life and live healthy and well? When all the different organs of the body work well together, are synced well. So what I like about this reference to organism in this word is that never lose the vision of being part of being the leader of an organization, which is something very articulated always, even if it's two of you organizing a concert or an event. It's always articulated. There are many tasks, and the success of an event is also determined by the harmony between and the balance between the different parts. Stage, cultural heritage, genius loci. Stage. Stage is where the event takes place. Okay, and it's a special place. One of my work is also to educate new generation of musicians and performers. And the one thing that drives me crazy all the time, and this happens with Italians, Americans, and people from all over the world that come to the school and study, is that I don't think there is enough awareness of how important and sacred the stage is. Everybody, from the first musician to the last technician, when is on the stage, when walks on the stage, should be just to be as respectful as while walking in a church. This is my feeling. And that as much respect the stage you pay to the stage, has much energy, as much brighter will be the event taking in that stage. And as organizer and producer, there's many ways to pay respect and to take care of the stage. Cultural heritage. I know you talk about this with Luciano, and I'm sure you talk with other professors about this. Stefania, would you like to give your thoughts or definition of cultural heritage?
Let's see. It's all about the cultural tradition and what is everything that link the past and the tradition and the contemporary culture. So it's all about connecting the dots between past, present, and to have a better future.
Fantastic. From your words, I can feel that the cultural heritage is something not just material, but is immaterial. It's not about goods or monuments or works or buildings, but it's about something more.
Knowledge.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Stefania. Thomas, do you have anything else to add about the cultural heritage?
Well, I see it too as the traditions that the culture is built on. So all the activities around an event or is based on a certain tradition. The spirit of this tradition is cultural heritage.
Okay, okay. And have you ever heard, Thomas, about genius loci?
No.
Is there anybody among you that ever heard and knows or have a vague idea of what genius loci is?
Sorry. Some week ago, I read a book. I don't remember the author, but she speaks about genius loci. Is a genius who belongs to a place, but I don't know if you use this in this.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Is there anybody? Do you want to say more about it, Claudia?
The books. There are 5 books. I don't remember the author, and he speaks about magician. Okay. And the genius loci is very important. In every place there are some genius, but I don't know if you.
Yeah, well, it's close. So let me give you my definition of genius loci. First of all, it's a Roman concept. Okay, Romans used to have lares and penates, which were ancestors. Statues of ancestors of people that considered be the regions of families, the countryside, and they will place those sculptures around the borders of their field, asking for protection. But the reality is that genius loci is a very interesting concept because it's not just about the spirit of a place, or the nature of a place, or the vibe, or the energy of one place. No, it's very more complex. So give a place, an environment, with its own geographical climate and descriptions. The genius loci refers not just to a sheer geographical and tangible aspect of a place, but refers also to the story of the civilization of that place. Let's say, to make a concrete example, I'm not from Firenze. I was born in Tuscany, on the seaside, 2 hours west from Firenze. But I lived in Firenze since I was 18. And, well, I have to say that somehow the fact that Dante Alighieri, Michelangelo, Botticelli, Leonardo, Raphael, all these guys lived and worked and shaped with their presence, with their art, with their thoughts, Firenze, makes Firenze a special place, which is not only about the river and the hills, it's just something special. So genius loci is about the physical aspects of a place, but also the result of the civilization of it, the story of the generation of people that live in that place. Why I'm talking about this? Because as a promoter, as organizer, whenever you deal with places that are special, that have a strong identity, energy, history, you always have to be receptive, aware, respectful of the genius loci. So a good producer that puts itself with the goal of promoting the cultural heritage through his own event must start from there. Many times I saw events that were simply staged in a beautiful place. Oh, let's go to see Paul McCartney playing in front of the Colosseum. Well, it's amazing. Paul McCartney is a great artist. The Colosseum is amazing. But 1 + 1 = 2. There was nothing in that concert, in the setup, in the production, that was thought in terms of, okay, what can we do to put Paul McCartney in dialogue with the Colosseum, instead of just using Colosseum as a mere scenography. You know what I'm talking about? So as a producer, you always have to be very aware of where you do events. Study the nature, the history, and think about how to interact with it. Last word, and then we will move forward. I'll share with you many examples of a production I've done. Success. I believe that every time you start a production, you need to, before getting your hands dirty, before starting to work, you have to ask yourself, what do I mean by success? It's just money? Yes, that is a good, pretty fair definition of success. Now, maybe to make money, you don't need to organize a concert in front of a coliseum. Maybe you can take a great arena or a big stadium and organize a concert there. So always be clear about what is your success. Because if you start with that idea, you work and you shape your production towards that goal, and then at the end of the production, you ask yourself if you matched that definition of success. This being said, my question for you, Claudia, is, do you think it's possible to promote the cultural heritage through event organization, and how?
Eccomi. Yes, I think it's possible because, for example, a few years ago, I was in a museum, a very important museum for Bologna, le collezioni d'arte, and there was a little show with some actors who acting about this place, this very important painting. Okay, in Bologna it's a very important heritage. Okay, then I think. I think is the future for Italy to use to promote cultural heritage, and it's possible through event organization.
Thank you, Claudia. Thomas, can you make some examples of successful production of cultural heritage promotion for events you attended?
That's hard to say, but there in Germany sometimes there are these medieval cities with these city walls, and many houses still look like medieval times, and they sometimes organize yearly events celebrating the past, and the population close like that time, and there are lots of things going on during a week or so in the town, within the town. So this may be an example for that.
Okay, so by success means to give the opportunity to the people through an event to see, to live an experience in a place, to know more about it, or just to approach the same place, not as it would be just a museum, but maybe thanks to the event, to approach the same monument, place, work of art in a different way, in a more familiar or direct way, right?
Yeah, right. They participate. They play a role that their ancestors played many hundred years ago. So with taking on these clothes and going on parades through the town.
Fantastic. Yeah, sometimes, I mean, my experience at the Uffizi Gallery for 12 years just made me think about how sometimes we go to see things, we do things with some preconcepts. And basically, we have different state of mind. Say, okay, now I'm I go to the museum state of mind. Now I go to the disco state of mind. Now I go to okay, I have to make my 1 hour commute on the train every day. So you can have the most beautiful thing in front of you while you are on your daily commute to work, and you may not see it because you are in that state of mind. So a good opportunity that events that are extraordinary by definition gives you is just to shed a different light or perspective on the same thing that you may see every day because it's the castle you have in your town and it's on your way to work. But then that night, because of the lights, because of the artist, because of the setup, because of the event, you see and you understand more about it. Okay. I'm 8 minutes late in my schedule, so it's not that bad. Let me move forward here. I want to share with you. This is one of the biggest production I've done, and this is with Luciano. I don't know if Luciano talked to you. I don't think, because now Luciano is just projected way forward. But for me, this production has been very important because it sets a fine line before and after. So, June 2003, from the incredible mind of Luciano, came the idea to get involved Giorgio Gasolini, great composer, fine gentleman, amazing musician. Basically, he is the history. He passed away last year. He was the history of contemporary music and jazz music in Italy. He was shocked by the beauty of a place that is in Umbria. It's an old Roman town, like a small Pompeii. And walking those places, that place with Luciano and I, he started being an artist to imagine something special. So he involved his friends. By friends we mean Arnaldo Pomodoro, which is simply one of the greatest living contemporary artists in the world. He's Italian. Hurricane, amazing musician. Marco Paolini, outstanding actor and writer of plays. And other good people. I was very young, I was 23, and there were many attempts to find a director, artistic director of this show, but nobody resisted to this incredible all-star team of artists. Basically, all the directors, all the candidates were kicked out. And the only one that could be kind of the liaison between this great artist was a young guy that instead of being a director, just worked like a liaison, worked like a facilitator and a producer. So where this show took place, in this beautiful, in the ruins of this incredible Roman town of that had the peak of the fortune in between the 3rd and the 5th century before Christ. We are 1 hour far from Rome. We are in one site that is special because there are right there the springs of one of the most important mineral waters in Italy, San Gemini, and so it's a special place. So this is the Salaria Road, which is the main road, one of the early big roads that Romans built at the beginning of the Republic. On the left, on the far left, you can see from the helicopter a picture of what is the rest of the Roman theater and the forum. On the right, the forum. What you see is just exactly the 25% of what is there, but there's no money for the excavation and for the archaeological research. So basically the idea of the show was to have a modern Ulisse. I have actually the poster here back. A modern Ulisse with his boat that has a shipwreck in one of the beautiful fields in the archaeological site. And so Arnaldo Pomodoro, being an artist, was so thrilled to work with in this production that he started to draw and to put ideas. So just to give you an idea, okay, let me use this marker. Okay. I need to find the marker here. I'm sure I'll find it. Okay, just to give you an idea, between this and this tower, the distance is approximately 120 meters. Pretty big installation. We had a fantastic budget. I think we had about 450,000 euros, 2003. We were very privileged because we had at that time we had a 3-year funding plan that would allow us to project and to produce bigger shows, because unfortunately today time has changed and there's always last minute fight for the money you need tomorrow. So it's difficult to plan ahead with uncertain funds. But that time we did have good funds. And so Arnaldo Pomodoro started immediately to project his imagination of a real great artist into this production. And he came up with this idea of getting towers and 2 stages, and then this object flying on the top of the audience. So, Ksenia, is there anything that comes to your mind in terms of just sheer production? Which was one of the biggest challenges of this production, in your opinion?
Unfortunately, I can't see any pictures there. I don't see your slides. I don't know why. I saw it and then it disappeared. Yeah, it's probably only for me. I'm trying to solve it, but
oh no!
I think, but it will be recorded, so I will be able to see it later. Okay. But somehow I can't see anything. So I think the difficulties could be that because it's a heritage, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe to get access to this place, to have permission to use this place. Yes. Could it be this?
No,
because
this is one
if you bring people there, you have to protect the place as well. If there is a lot of people, audience, yeah, it should be very well organized. And
I'm so sorry you can't see the pictures, and you makes totally sense what you said. Oh, Oops, I see from...
I also don't see your video, so it's probably my computer. I only hear the voice. That's
no.
what's happening today. But
no, but I see a message from the school that tells me that my video is not showing up. Can you confirm, all of you? Fabio, can you see my video?
Yes, I see.
Okay.
Yes.
Thomas, can you see my video and the slides?
I can see the slides. The video disappears from time to time, but now it's back again. Okay,
I'm so sorry, but anyway, you will see the video after this lesson. Please, if there's somebody else besides Ksenia that don't get the video, the slides, please let me know now, because I can adjust my presentation.
I see the picture. I'm not
Okay. So I'm not that good looking, so it's not important, and even if I was, this is not the point. So the important is that you see the slides, okay? Bene. So, Ksenia, you got it. I mean, every time you work with a special place, archaeological site, museum, whatever, island or waterfall. I will show you a concert organized on a waterfall. You have a strong limitation, so you need to be aware of that. In this case, the problem I had was that Arnaldo Pomodoro, as you can see from the model that he did, amazing, it was a work of art in itself. Imagined on the top of the head of people, imagine the ark, the bowl of Ulysses, the eye of the Cyclops. Imagine the Pandora's box. This is just a sketch. Imagine the sun and the sirens. So he did really imagine big elements that would float on big tires on top of the spectators. As a producer, and I had a very difficult position to tell Maestro Arnaldo Pomodoro, it was 75 at that time, and a very strong character, say, Maestro, I'm sorry, we can't make it, because we will never get the permission to even if we had the money to build those machines, because there were machines, not just the elements, we will never have the permission to do this. So the project moved forward, and he designed the stages of each musician for like sails, you know. And let's see if I can show you. He made a storyboard of the sails of the big stages. But anyhow, what I want to show you to get to the point is, see the final installation. It was a huge, huge installation. And there you see the ark along, and here you can't see, but there is a road, the Salaria. And so this was an installation for hosting 5,000 people. Some of them seated, some of them just being around in the field. The event was a big success. This is Marco Paolini, this is Jim Black, Yuri Kane, Dave Binney, great musicians that all wrote original music. It was a great success. But why I say that for me this was a before and after event? It's because, as you can see from this slide, I think this show was not a real success in terms of promotion of a cultural heritage. Why? Because the dimension of the show were way bigger, overwhelming, comparing the dimension of the site. So, in other words, I will consider this an improper use of the site to create, for the purpose of creating an event. This is the first thing I can say to you. So the other thing is, the other question, you know, I mean, at that time, I was not used to start a project and a production setting a definition of success before starting. I didn't know. I mean, I was so overwhelmed by the dimension of the effort and the opportunity as a young organizer to be part of such a thing that I didn't ask myself how I would define the success. But now I should tell you that I'm very critical. I will never do something like that, because that was not really promotion. First of all, because after that, this was an event, such a big event. It came like a UFO from the skies, landed for a few days, and then left. And without just absorbing an enormous quantity of money and resources and know-how and just promotion and funds. And after that, nobody ever had the money, the resource, the possibility to organize something as big. So didn't become a system, didn't become a precedent, just was an event, isolated in the history. And the place, as it was before the event, after the event, just continued to be a beautiful place that only few people know. This is maybe a concept that you discussed with the channel. Was the Odyssey a sustainable event with small environmental impact? Although we are very serious people and we respect the environment in which you operate, and so nothing was damaged. Everything was totally fine after, and we gave the field back as clean as it was before. I'm not, you know, I'm not hiding that the setup was 15 days of work with just a lot, immense effort of instruments and bulldozers and just a lot of stuff. So the environmental impact was very big, and for sure was not sustainable at all. So those who took part to that event still remember, all the artists still remember, but I wouldn't consider this as a fair, good, sustainable example of promotion of cultural heritage. You see, you may ask yourself, why so you show this to us? Because I think it's always good. Because in this work, I think more than from books, you learn from your mistakes. So it's always good to work a lot, to do many things, and to do mistakes, because from your mistake, you can learn, really. Few notes about producer and producing. Event producer is responsible to make the production happen and to bring it to the final success. His first task is to set the ground with the anticipation and make sure that everything will work on time, on the budget, and in respect with all the other goals indicated at the beginning of the production. The producer holds the key of the budget, directs the staff, determines the production timeline, and coordinates all the professional services. the ability to foresee, anticipate, and coordinate all the aspects of the production is essential to this job. Most of these abilities are acquired on the ground with experience. It's difficult you will never find a book that will tell you all those things. You need to do it. You need to work close to those who have experience to learn. Maybe you won't agree with everything they do, but you will learn. So my suggestion is just hit the ground and do things. The producer responsibility is also to balance, to blend the forces in action and find an equilibrium that reinforces the quality of each one. Organism, organization. When you deal with production like this, if the voice of those who built the stage can be louder of the voice who need to set the audio or the lights. You need to know the timeline. You need to know which are the priority. You need to know when you have to stop listening to those who built the audio, when you have to start to listening to those who make the stage, you know? A common thread of the events organized since the Ulisse, so the after, is less intrusive, impactful production, in which most of the functional aspects, which is hardware, rings, stages, head speakers, are hidden, and where the spectator lives the event directly, immersed, as close to the artist's body as possible. You know, the artist's body. I will never stress the importance of this. If you like sculptures, you want to go to the museum as close as possible, not looking at the picture, but just to feel the marble, to feel the material, you know, just feel it, you know. So the event, body of the artist is sacred, as sacred as the stage. So whenever you do events, try to set up the stage and the auditorium in the way that you just offer the show where the happens as close as possible to the spectator. An example of this, I'm so happy of this concept, solo concert. You may say, well, this is here. Paolo Angeli in the Montefalco, which is where a great wine in Italy is done, in Umbria, in a 12, it's the 1200 church. Check it out. Sorry for Xenia, you can't picture now, but this is a beautiful Middle Ages church with the 1400s frescoes by Benozzo Gozzoli, one of the leading artists of the Renaissance. And we staged the solo concert of Paolo Angeli, which is an incredible artist who combines, he's from Sardinia, an island of shepherds, and he combines in his playing the old archetypical chants of shepherds, yelling yodeling with old archaic techniques with contemporary music. This in particular was a solo guitar concert performing Björk music with a lot of effects. So we did this concert in this church, and this was one of the concerts that required me more time to prepare than many others have done. More site visits, more technology as ever did. Why? First of all, because you're in an environment in which there are frescoes, very delicate frescoes from the 1400s. And so the process, the paperwork and the process to get all the permissions to organize a concert there started almost 1 year in advance. Second, because we wanted to offer the concert as simpler as was possible. So we deliberately choose to avoid any ring, stage, elements. We just chose the wooden stage of the church. So all the concert, all the work we have done was just the lights, lighting and lights effect. So as you can see, for example, since this was an evening concert, from this picture you can see that the windows in the back of the musician right here is dark. Of course it's night, you know, but there you can see the light. So we put an enormous effort to bring lights on the back of the church, on top of crazy terraces, you know, in order to bring energy and to bring light from there, in order to create the feeling in between the concert of a light coming from at night from outside and just coming inside the church, creating a beautiful effect. This is the church. As you can see, when I was talking about technology, we started a very sophisticated system of surround technique, because we wanted, even for those that were far from the stage, we wanted to create an immersive atmosphere, and so these speakers you see are all delays, and the experience was amazing, and this is one concert that people still remember. Yeah, again, they try to do a concert like this after the one we did. So this means that this event became the example for other events that came after, and so sustainable too, you know, respectful and sustainable. And the concert before and after was also the opportunity to talk about the church, to talk about the frescoes. So before the concert there was a wine tasting of Montefalco wine, so to make sure that people will get to the concert in a very good mood. All these details made the event special. So I would consider this a fair and good example, even in small dimension, there were 400 people attending, of a promotion of cultural heritage and sustainable event. I'm sorry, speaking a lot because there's so much to cover. Just give me time to make a quick mention of another production, and then I want to hear from you. We talk about the Genius Loci. I think one of the production I've done in which this Genius Loci was interpreted fairly well was the series of concerts organized for 4 years in a row at the Cascata delle Marmore, which is Marmore waterfall, the highest, tallest waterfall in Europe. I should remember, I think 360 meters of jump from the top that you see here, to this is the second, and then below here there's the third. So 3 jumps. This is currently used by a company that produces energy. So the waterfall is shut down and open at the regular times. we did have the opportunity to organize concerts in this area because our sponsor was the company that produces energy. So they wanted to promote the waterfall. They wanted to promote their image of them being environment friendly company. They wanted to do some marketing, and they wanted also to promote their relationship with the community. So here we came as interpreter of these needs, and we tried to organize an event that was as much respectful of the area and the place as possible. Respectful means also, since that is a touristic place with a lot of visitors, to schedule the setup of the stage that will take 1 week. Why? Because you will have only very narrow windows to bring the stuff, to build the stage, and to work while people were not there. The logistics of this place is crazy. Everything is difficult. And just to give you an idea, even if this is a company that produces energy with the same waterfall, the energy plant is so down below in a valley that in that place there is no enough energy to run a show. So we had to rent a big truck, and to find a park for the truck is far away with a lot of wires just to bring energy for the show. Just to give you an idea of one of the logistical challenges. But this is one of the stage, one of the 4 years. We had great artists coming, and the thing I like of this production is that the production was done in such a way that everything was calculated in order to have a huge water, to have the waterfall just be opened suddenly right at the end of the last note of the concert. So basically what will happen is that after the encore of on the stage, after the last note, the musician will just, the light on the stage will shut up, will be just dead black. The musicians will be guided by people on stage with lamps to leave the stage in a hurry, and the water will come and just immerse everything. The public will have, along with their ticket, key waves, and they will be alerted that water will come all over the place. This is a good example of correct interpretation of genius loci, and 1 + 1 + 1 = 100. This is one of the greatest musicians in the jazz history, still living. Archie Shepp, friend of John Coltrane, Miles Davis, and all those. He was so thrilled. He understood that this was not just one of the many gigs he had in that tour that summer. He immediately realized that all the talking in production and the contract about him having to observe a specific timeline and all the details about the water and all that in the contract had a meaning, had a reason. So he was so happy to be part of such a production that his concert there was special. So an artist like him that every year, despite his age, had 150 concerts, made a special concert that night. And so somehow the spirit of the waterfall It's always been example and inspiration for poets, writers, artists from all over the world, coming from the Grand Tour, going to Rome. The spirit of the waterfall was somehow present in his event and amplified by the force of the nature. That was a beautiful production. At the end of the show, lights will be all over the place. This is another artist at the end of the show, coming up with this is Bobby Watson, coming up with this K-way and just dancing and shouting because of the energy. Well, let me ask you, I hope you have 5 minutes after, you can stay here till 8:35, so I can finish this and ask you something. This is the last production, big production I've done, 2015. So, Firenze, Palazzo Pitti. This was a big challenge because it was the premiere of an opera, classical opera, not jazz concert, featuring music, dance, opera singing, and a lot of acting in a special place, Palazzo Pitti. Palazzo Pitti is not only the house of the Medici, where 5 museums are, which is 100,000 of people every year, but it's also the place in which in 1600, opera was born. So basically, we stage an opera in the place in which opera was born, and this was the premiere. So the genius loci here was just a tough guy, let's say. The decision we made as producer was to recreate the feeling of a house concert. So although this was a show, because the opera is a show by definition, it's not a concert at all, we wanted to create an environment that would be so warm, so close, so intimate, that would make you feel you were one of the guests in one of those very elite, exclusive events that the family of the Medici will organize in the 1600s. So the choice of no rings, no big stage, but just 2 very small stages. So you can imagine the challenge for the dancers and the singers, using the space all around. And these stages at night will disappear. Now you see the stages, but at night, the stages will disappear. Even now, this picture you see now are very you can see, manipulated in order to let you have a view. But the reality is that all this area will be totally dark, and the exposition of light here will be, the stage of the musician will be totally invisible, and they will have all mini lamps, so they will be able to read the score, but without being seen, like in the orchestra pit. And here, you could only see this. This is a stage, all black stage. So just these figures will be floating in the air. This was the suggestion that we followed. This was the scene from how musicians could see the people. So I love this production because although there were, in spite of the presence of the film crew and all the visual elements, everything was so balanced that we highly respected the place. We did something that was contemporary, but at the same time was respectful of the history of the place. The mere bricks of the walls, the fountains that are behind the stage, so all the original elements of the architecture will have a role in the show, and really you will have the feeling to be just in front of the artist. Was very intimate. I want to tell you something that as producer you need to know. Every time you have a film crew like this, there were 5 cameras, 2 towers here, 1 here, 2 in front, and 1 in the back here. So every time you have an event and you ask yourself, should I document this event? It's a big challenge because the film crews especially come with many technical requests. First of all, every voice, every single instrument must be mic'd. Which kind of microphones would you use? Traditional microphone with cables? How can you make? Can you put a mic with cables to a singer in an opera? It's incredible, impossible. So you will use a combination of personal mic with wireless, with some mics that will just get the air around the stage. You see, there's one here, and there's one here. All the instruments will be wired, and then a film crew needs brighter lights than the lights you will originally use for the sheer show. So as a producer, you always have to balance all the requests, because following the requests and the technical needs of the film crew would have meant to impact the experience of the people on the stage, and the experience of the people in the spectators. So the energy of the event would have been immediately impacted, and the concept the show wouldn't be as successful as it was. This is for the purpose of the film crew. So as a producer, you need to have a vision of an overall vision, and to balance and to know how much room gives to the requests of the singer that wants to be at the center of the stage, how much room to give to the director of the production or the orchestra, how much room to give to the film crew. This is a good example of balancing and organizing. But now, last reflections. Once the event is completed, the producer's work progresses to a new stage. Sponsors reports, budget, press conference, staff briefings. One suggestion I give you is reflect. Always take some time after you've done the budget to reflect and to ask yourself, did I really made what I wanted, or going through the production itself took over and led me to a different direction to what I was originally thinking. did I succeeded in matching my success definition? Were the goals that I put myself at the beginning of the production realistic? Were all the production choices functional and in the right direction? These are all the questions you need to ask yourself. At the end of the bottom of this presentation, I put you my email, and I share with you some of the books that for some reason I think are very useful. There's a handful in English and a handful in Italian. I know it's 8:24. I'm sorry I talked way too much, more than what I wanted. I wanted to engage you more. Allow me to ask to each of you one question. Claudia, are you there?
Yes.
Please, do you have any question for me?
Oh, this lecture was very interesting, and I think maybe in now I don't have any question. Maybe
you can write.
I think, oh my God, magiche rime arcane, palazzo Pitti. And what if I was in this situation? It's very challenging, okay? But now I don't know what I can ask you.
Yes, I know. I consider this just as a beginning, you know, as just input. So you can think about it and you can come up with the questions you have. You know, I have a right hand that is not working now, so my answers may be concise and not full, but I'll try to answer to you, to all of you.
My question is about the process. It's very interesting, the process to build this event. But I don't think you can answer in 5 minutes.
Well, I can answer in 5 minutes. The process is it's something you learn to manage in the time. I mean, as an event producer, this is what I suggest you. Starting from the little events, create your own set of documents. Timeline, budget sheet, any sheet, spreadsheet, file that you consider functional to your work. And event after event, you will copy the one you did before, and you will paste and edit, and you will create a vocabulary, a reference for all different types of events. The timeline is the most important document because the timeline determines when you need to do things and how. So you say, okay, first of all, let's start from when I have to book the Palazzo Pitti. 1 year in advance. Okay. When I have to pay Palazzo Pitti. Okay, 6 months in advance. Okay, boom. When I have to write a contract and start to talk about writing the scores or creating the scenography. So the process is not that difficult. You just have to ask yourself the questions about what you need to do and when you need to do it, and start to put all those information in a file. And the most important thing is that always at the beginning of your career, or even when you are a skilled and experienced professional, you need to be surrounded by the right people. Always try to work with professional services that can only but teach you how to work. So, just to give you an idea, you have an idea of a production that is a concert. Well, then, first of all, contact people that you know are very good in audio management. They will tell you what to do. Say, hey, listen, I want to organize a concert of Philharmonica, Berlin, of the Berliner. How many microphones do I need? You don't need it. Or what I need? How do I have to start? When do I have to start? You know. So you ask all those questions to yourself and to the people you work with, and you come up with a file that integrates all the information. I don't know, maybe it's not that easy, but
thank you.
Is there? This is 8:30. I know. Is there any question you think can be helpful for just to say arrivederci for the next time? Any question you guys have?
Yes. Hello, ciao. My name is Ekaterina.
Ciao.
I have a question for you. How many people do we usually need for organize such an event?
Not as many as you
But
may
how many
think.
people we need to consider?
Not as many as you think.
Like how many?
Let me give you an example of this show. Okay, I was a producer. There was a director of the director of the orchestra that took care of organizing the schedules and the rehearsals, and there was an assistant of mine that will help the director of the orchestra to coordinate and to contact all the musicians to get all the information. There was an administrator that worked for all the contracts. Then there was a director of the choreography for the dance. There was the artist that made all the scenarios. There was an artist who made the costumes, and they were coordinated by myself and my assistant. There was a coach and for all the singers, the choir and the singers, and I was directly overviewing the stage setup, all the paperwork for permission, laws and regulations, and there was an architect that I hired that would just do the paperwork, but I was overseeing that. And there was one of the assistants of mine that would take care of the video production. The rest was all just communication and management of the people getting to the area and all that. This was a work that started in September 2014, the commission. All the scores were handed to the musician in January 2015. No, sorry. September 2013. Scores handed in January 2014, and the opera was staged in 2014, not 2015, 14. We started to build the stage 4 days before the event.
Okay.
And the budget was pretty small, very small, considered. Was 1/3 of the budget we used for the Ulisse in 2003. So that's. This is because also most of the people that took part to the production were students of my school. So although the level was very high, professional, only few were the artists on stage that were sound professionals. So 10 people, 10 good people can do this.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Ragazzi, I believe we ran out of time. I hope at least I gave you something to think about. And my challenge to you is whenever you go and see an event, a concert, ask yourself all the questions. Try to look the events from these perspectives and just start from the work of the others to create your own vocabulary and just do it. Ciao.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Ciao, thank you.
Ciao ragazzi.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.